Luis Torres Jr., the host of Don't Shoot the Messenger, and I want to welcome you guys to the newest chapter of Don't Shoot the Messenger, sponsored by the wonderful host, the notorious, the infamous, right?
Yeah.
JB.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is my guest, JB.
Good to be here. Good to be here. I appreciate you having me on.
Man, thank you for coming, man. Thank you for, man. I can't say thank you enough, bro. For real. This place is beautiful. For real.
I
And,
appreciate you, man.
You already know, but beyond, I could kiss ass all day on this podcast, but you already know how, I've been telling you thank you, all day. I can't say thank you enough, man. For real.
We call that humility. You know what I'm saying? Being humble, and it shows. Because if you wasn't, then you wouldn't be saying thank you. You'd just be like, hey, appreciate you, whatever.
Yeah, bro.
I know that it's genuine. You know what I'm saying? So
100%, bro. Like this is it's completely out of left field, bro. It really has been a blessing. This is something I dreamed of my whole life. And I want to be an example for people that coming up that you can really do whatever you want. Just do it the right way.
Most definitely, yes.
You gotta focus on your shit. You gotta but also just having a direction. You feel me? A lot of people are focused on speed, going going in to wherever the quickest place. But
yeah, in most cases, everybody want to be at the top.
Especially my age. You know what I'm saying? Like I can speak from experience. As well. You know what I'm saying? Coming straight out of high school.
I know things must be, in your generation. I know everything's, it's more advanced. My years in school, we was advanced, but now it's like, they're a bit light years ahead. So to give them direction is kind of hard because everybody already seen the trajectory. They're not even paying attention to what you gotta go through.
That's why we think we know everything because like our generation looking at our parents, you know what I'm saying. For them to try to tell us something like we're man, like you're saying, technology advances exponentially. You feel me? Like y'all, the way this shit is advanced since my dad's generation. You know what I'm saying? And you and my Theo's generation.
Yeah.
Between my dad and is crazy. So
yeah, it's changed. It's way different now. Like you have all this social media. It exposes you to so much so fast, so it's like
100%.
They don't even get a chance to really just actually get there the way they're supposed to. They just go from A to Z right away, and there's no in between, and that's what they're lagging.
100%. Yeah. It's a lot of issues that are facing the generation coming up. And that's I've always said this is what I want to do this podcast for. I want to give some type of direction to the generation coming up because man. It's all about. It's crazy what the culture, like, brings us up believing is like cool. You know what I'm saying? And that's really just what I want to change. You feel me? What the culture of cool is. You feel me? Like, I feel like I've just been waiting for this shit to like get cool. You know what I'm saying? Quote unquote cool. Like, really caring about yourself. Really actually thinking about your future. You feel me? Yeah. Like, just all this shit that's going on right now. You don't really. Nobody trying to hear no shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Nobody trying to hear realistic shit, you know what I'm saying? Like but it is like at the same time everybody knows that that's the answer. Everybody knows that they got to end up, doing the right thing.
Yeah, you have to.
Or you get humbled and you'll you know what I'm saying, you'll realize one way or another, you know what I'm saying? You got to do it the right way.
And unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, nowadays everybody want to learn that way, and in a hard way.
It's crazy, that's true.
I sound like a broken record every time that I've given, the younger crowd advice, trying to give them some direction, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I remember when I was young, a lot of the old heads, they really weren't telling you not to do it. They were just doing it. So you were inspired by what they were doing. Your mom was telling you don't do that, and that's what we were gravitating towards, but they never told us to. Nowadays, it's like, they don't want to hear it. Yeah,
well, because how are you going to tell somebody to not do it and then they see you being successful? You know what I'm saying? Like, the only person, like, that's successful around them is the person doing the bad shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get role models from, like, just hearing about it, like, a Bronx tale, right?
Bronx tale? Like Sonny,
Sonny's dad worked the fucking bus, you know what I'm saying? He always tried to teach him right and shit, but, you know what I'm saying? Like, Sonny always, or Lil C, right? Isn't it? Lil C, Colonial?
Colagio.
Colagio,
He was C.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. We talked about that, too, the first time we met, about, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, but... you know, and I don't ever want to sound like I know all the answers or anything. If any, you know what I'm saying, that's definitely, like, if you listen to this, then you know that that's definitely not what I'm on, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not telling everybody to do this, don't do that, like, you know what I'm saying?
No, just, you know, advice, because like, remember we had spoke about how nowadays a lot of people, they always repost on their stories these quotes, and they'll post these excerpts from videos, you know, from TikTok or whatever it may be. But it's always something inspirational, right? So it gets you thinking, like, they know what's up, you know, and they know they something, they feeling something inside they gotta let out. And people have put such a how do you say, like, a stereotype on mental health, like, you're crazy, you know, like you went nuts.
100%,
it's like your brain you get tired too, you know. It can take a load. So much going on in the world, and I've been around to see a lot of crazy stuff, but the way things are right now in the world, it just, sometimes I'm baffled by it.
100%.
I don't even like watching the news anymore, to be honest with you, because every time I see it, it's nothing good. I see shootings and all kinds of nonsense, and I'm like, man, well, what happened to, you know, just regular hobbies, you know? There's more violence everywhere now. It's too crazy for me,
crazy.
man.
It's crazy as fuck. Like, it feels like it's like getting to like the worst it's ever been, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, of course it is, right? It's the worst it's ever been.
Houston never used to be, like, there was always been crime in Houston, but I remember the crime when I was younger was really just a lot of stealing, you know, carjacking, you know, breaking into houses like that. But go ahead, get yourself a shot. But as far as, like, you know, just killing for you know, really killing, period, you know what I'm saying, it's pointless. But back then they were killing, you know, I guess you could say there was a reason why they did it, I don't know. But now they just shooting to shoot. They're shooting out into a crowd, and all kinds of people get hit, and it just don't make no sense to me, man. Kids and everything. That was like, you don't mess with kids, and
that was always
none of
rule,
that. You rule. You stay away from that. But now they you know what I'm saying? They don't care.
Man.
I try to guide them. You know, I don't try to beat them over the head about what they're not doing. You know what I'm saying? I try to tell them what they need to do in order so that they won't have to deal with, you know, the consequences, because it's just it's kind of harder to make them understand the consequences until they're dealing with them.
Exactly. You want to prevent them from dealing with it, but, like, it almost seems like there's no other way for them to learn.
There's no
crazy.
way.
And it is like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with me, like, you know, I remember, you know, seeing people do certain things, like, you know, ahead of me, older than me, and then, you know, me being like, you know, just having that, you know, that superiority complex, being like, oh, okay, like, I've seen that happen, but, like, nah, that's not gonna happen to me. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's still, it seems like, you know, you can never really get through them. But I mean, man, like, I feel like the least we could do, though, you know, is at least put the energy out there, put that, you know, somebody will use it, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we can help somebody, one person, bro, like, I think it's worth it, bro. And it's better, of course, than not doing nothing, you know, like, or influence them the other way, you feel me? Like, because, you know, what did you say? Like, life and death is in the tongue, right? They said that in the Bible, right? Life and death is in the tongue. Like, you know, it just depends on what you want to put out there. You feel me? Like, life or death. And really, I want to put out, you know, just want to push life, you know, and because, you know, I have a son. You feel me? Like, I have a family. You know, that I want the world to be a better place for. You feel me? And I think that really our best hope is to, with conversations like this. You know what I'm saying? Talking to all different types of people, just until we get a, you know, a good. I know we're never gonna get a 100% understanding, you feel me? But but at least a somewhat understanding, or like to make a slight difference in the world, to make it like, you know, 5% better. You know what I'm saying? 5% more safe. Like, that's what everybody wants. You feel me? Everybody wants their family to be safe. So
that's why, you know, I'm a father too. I got kids, you know, and I'm super passionate about being a parent. You know, anybody knows me, I'm like, they back, you know, the people who are against discipline will call it being strict, but I just call it being a parent. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to separate the two, a friend and a parent. You can't play both those titles. You know.
No, there's no way. They don't match at all.
Yeah,
no.
and me, with my kids, I'm an open book. I tell my kids about everything I've done. You know, from past, you know, drug addictions and prison and all that. I don't shy away from who I used to be. You know what I'm saying? Because they got to understand why I am the way I am now. You know, because and they'll just see me now and they don't know my story. I don't shy away from telling. I tell them every and anything they ever ask me. Dad, what about this? Did you ever do this? And I'm honest with it because I want them to know that perfect does not exist.
Yeah, you're right.
It does
bro.
not exist. Not even your parents are perfect. I'm far from that.
Yeah, I think that's
I struggle. I still struggle, but I let them know that it's okay to struggle. And you're not supposed to get it right every day of your life. That's not gonna happen.
That's true, bro, and that's a very important lesson to teach kids for just about not being able to win everything or not being able to get it your way at all times. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one of the biggest things that plagues people. You know what I'm saying? That gives people anxiety. That's what we're talking about mental health. That's in the generation coming up. All of that is just that it's especially during this COVID time has been crazy impact on mental health. We've already seen the
I just
impacts.
came from out of town. I was in the Rio Grande Valley, and COVID is still a thing over there. Like they're still using masks over there. Over here in Houston, I haven't seen a mask in I don't even know when this has.
That's true. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's almost like if it never happened.
Yeah, and how we're living over here.
It's like I'm not gonna lie to you. For real, sometimes it feels like we're in a dream. Like how did we go through all that and then just from one day to the next, it's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It kind of leaves you like, what the,
it shows you how
days,
Yeah, it shows you how like flimsy our society is. It could be one moment to the next could be complete lockdown. You know what I'm saying? Or complete, freedom. How it is, but I mean, thankfully, we live in America, so we're always gonna be looking for freedom. You know what I'm saying? We're always pushing for our freedom, and especially Texas. You know what I'm saying? They're pushing for it. You can't lock us down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, Texas is his own. It's his own United States.
For real, it's his own country.
Don't even need nobody.
For
They
real.
don't need nobody.
We done did that before. You don't think we do it again? We done did it before.
Yeah, especially the kind of people running the state. Especially you're not gonna get no. Nah, they don't play that here.
Not at all. But you know what I'm saying? Just just talking about mental health. And the effects of COVID. Like I said, we've already seen the effects of it, and we're going to continue to see the effects of it later on to come. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, I'm not saying I could change, heal anybody or change anything, but with the people that I do interact with, I'm definitely, I always try to make sure that they leave the interaction with something, having learned something and having just start steer their direction straight or made their frequency just more stable. You feel me? Because I think that's all we got. We really are all we got. You know what I'm saying? Each other is really all we have. You know what I'm saying? And right now we're the most divided as a country as we've ever been.
Oh man,
you feel me? So
I'm gonna tell you like this. This is like when politics came into the fold, as far as in general. Period. Before the president, before we had Trump as president, nobody really cared about politics. At least I didn't. And family members of mine didn't either, But whenever he came to office, he came in with these ideals and everything, and he changed, a lot of the landscape as far as politics. But he also allowed people to finally let themselves be radical, because it was crazy. So, anyways, long story short, politics played such a huge role in what's going on, to the point where I had to get out of a family group because it was politics crazy, right?
Politics divided.
It was really bad, and I was like, man, I never knew something like that could happen, And I was like, you know what? For my own, well-being, mentally, and for theirs as well, I even take their, well-being into consideration. I'm like, I'm gonna remove myself so every time they see me, they're actually happy to see me again. Not based off all this bickering we did in a group, because that's what it was becoming. They didn't even how do you say, they weren't happy to see me. It's like, he all right. So I was like, nah, it can't be like that.
It's crazy. Your own family.
My family in the valley, we're super tight.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And so it's like I couldn't do that. So I'd rather just remove that. But a lot of people, and they're not willing.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, they're normally they.
Well, they're not situationally aware enough to do that. You know what I'm saying? Or because. It just really depends on. You just realize, you gotta pick your battles. You know what I'm saying? You can't. You're not gonna win every battle, and you don't want to win every battle. You know what I'm saying? With that battle, do you really want to win? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna divide the family even farther. Just arguing and arguing.
Do that,
you know what I'm saying? So like you're saying,
Yeah,
but man, it's just crazy how coming up, you don't see. I know for me, speaking from personal experience, you know what I'm saying. We don't look at politics like anything. You know what I'm saying? It's boring. Like.
Yeah.
Especially, and I know the generation coming up, they look at politics like it's boring, like the most boring shit. But really, it's the most real shit. It really is. It's the most real shit that actually has to do with your life. You feel me? Like, and it's crazy as fuck. Whenever you when you gain that awareness, and it's crazy how it's really all like, literature. Everything's literature. It's all, specific words that mean, what I'm saying, like. Democrats, Republicans, like this and that, all these different little neat, what is it?
Words that nobody even knows what the hell is going on. They're just like, oh, okay. Like I see bills going all the time to Congress, and I'm like, what the hell did they just sign?
What are they talking about? Yeah, like but like it's made to be that way, like it's made to be. I feel like mind numbing, made to be fucking, it's made to be a process for you to even understand what's going on.
When it comes to politics, a lot of people are illiterate. They don't know what the hell's going on. They don't know.
A lot of people check out before they even, like 100%. They just, and that's why, I talked about this before on another episode, like politicians will usually, just go straight for the emotions. They go straight for your heart. They'll go straight for whatever they feel like is going to resonate with you emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Because that's their biggest chance of winning.
That's what they do. Like, I started to see how they exploit, the minorities and all these, these big cities and stuff. How they know the Mexican is, struggling. They're like, hey, I got you. You know how the African community is struggling too, and what do? They hand out everybody shit, to keep everybody content, and really, they hurting people. They don't, they're not putting people on game how they can do it on their own. And during the pandemic, I was telling my brother last time, I'm like, in the pandemic, if you ain't get rich, you're never gonna get rich, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because that was the most perfect time for anybody to become an entrepreneur. I met people from all walks of life doing all kinds of stuff after the pandemic, you know what I'm saying? One of my boys, shout out T-Raw, when I met him, he was telling me that he was selling dog products for dogs, and I was like, man, what the and I can't knock that because, damn, that's smart, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like he ain't working for nobody but himself, and I don't forget that resonates with me like really big, like, you know what I'm saying? You should never be ashamed of whatever it is you got going, anything, because a hustle is a hustle. Whenever I was in prison, I got there, and I used to live a certain way out here. I get to prison, and I realized that a hustle is cleaning somebody else's cell. When you ain't got no money coming in, you gotta clean. You gotta do other people's laundries. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that you gotta learn to hustle. If you ain't got no hustle, you gonna starve. There's all kinds of hustles to do in there. So when I was in there, I'm like, man, it's crazy how I never applied any of this to my life before. Like, I've always been a hustler, but I never tapped into it. You know what I'm saying? I was in there. My celly K-Dub, he gave me whenever he left to the camp, he gave me like 14 rooms to clean. You know what I'm saying? That was $7 a room. That's that's what I was getting paid to clean the room and the laundry, because I had lost my commissary visitation, phone rights, and all that. I had lost everything on my first year being there. So I had to learn to be humble. Like, hey, bro, like, you're gonna have to do these things. And K-Dub is the one that taught me to be like, don't worry about what people think because you're cleaning somebody else's cell. You know what I'm saying? So right away, life started humbling me. As soon as I got there, instantly, I started becoming humble. That's why I don't knock what people do for a living or what they got going. Like, whenever Tex reached out to me and he was like, hey, my nephew, he want to do the podcast. And I think that, you know what I'm saying, you should link with him because, I be doing those videos and all that on snapping, just acting a fool. But there's been times when I've been serious, and Big Tex, he's like, bro, I needed to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So whenever he see me getting back on social media and doing, my little rants or whatever, he was like, reach out to my nephew. He wants to do a podcast. And I was like, all right, I'm going to look into it. But I automatically started to think about the times that I needed an opportunity and nobody gave it to me. Even if somebody told them, hey, he needs a chance, they still wouldn't show me love, you know what I'm saying? So I show love. That's what I remember we were talking. I said, I'm gonna tell you why I did this. I show love for all the times they ain't show me love, you know what I'm saying? That's why I am the way I am. Anybody knows, I come over here, I show love to anybody. Anybody that knows me, they know I don't hate on nobody, I don't envy nobody, nothing. I got, you know what I'm saying, I got love for plenty, and even if they don't show me any, you know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. And I'm glad that life humbled me to make me like that, because before I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? Excuse my French, but I was a piece of shit, you know what I'm saying? I was a terrible person before. The ones who would know that is my immediate family, you know what I'm saying? My brothers, sisters, mom, pop, they would know how I was before. That's why every day I try to just you can't erase what happened, right? But I try to redeem myself.
You only have the present and the future.
You know, that's what I want to do. I see people that's about to crash, and it be fucking me up, because I'm like, damn, dog. I wish little homie would listen, but I remember when I didn't listen. I didn't want to hear it. So I look at it from both sides, and that's a blessing and a curse, because you already know what it's like, and you hate it because you're trying to make them understand, don't do that, you know what I'm saying?
But you can't. But all you can do is just step back and be like, hey, that's life.
That's and when I first came home, I used to get on my little brother all the time, you know what I'm saying, because he was in the mix, and we used to butt heads like crazy, but it's because I was trying to see it my way only, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't open-minded. I wasn't thinking like him. I was like, I already came home, I was a soldier, I already know what you're not supposed to do, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't see it his way until I started to see, what he was doing and all that. And I started to pay attention to why he was the way he was, you know what I'm saying? Like how he grew up. So when I started to pay attention to diet, because there's really big effects from how you grow up. So I started to take all that into consideration so I can be able to understand my little nigga, you know what I'm saying? So once, it took some time. It wasn't overnight, you know what I'm saying? It took me a while to understand him, you know what I'm saying? And then that's when I was humbled, because now I don't see it just my way, I see it their way too. You feel me? I see it from their point of view, you right, you know what I'm saying? You know, there's a reason why you think like that, because there's a reason why I think the way I think. You know what I'm saying? And to other people, they're like, that he's crazy, you know. But I don't see nobody like they're crazy. I just hey,
it's life. You know
that's how everybody has a reason why they act the way they do. Something happened to them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I don't ever judge nobody. I learned that when I was real young, bro. Just not to judge nobody. Because you just don't know who are you to judge, bro? Who's anybody to judge? I know I made mistakes. We're all human. We gotta. That's one thing with society nowadays. We just don't give people the chance to actually change. You feel me? Like this all cancel culture shit. People want to talk about cancel culture. It is what it is. I don't know. I don't even want to say it's not real, because it is a thing. But still,
cancel culture, man. You know what? I haven't really heard of it. Or it's still really going on. But at first, I was like, I understood why people were offended, but then now people are taking it too far. Now they want to cancel everything. They want to take food out of people's mouths, take money out of people's pocket, and I'm not okay with that, because that's knocking somebody's hustle. I can't be okay with that shit. So cancel culture for me, I don't even know how that shit came about, to be honest with you. I wish that shit didn't exist.
It's crazy. It's just everybody, looking towards somebody else's grind, you know what I'm saying? Somebody putting themselves out there to even be, looked at, you know what I'm saying? Somebody putting themselves out there, and then somebody else being like, hey, cut this dude off, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy that somebody even has the authority to, or feel like they could even do some shit like that. But man, it's just fucking,
the dude, have you ever seen the show Black Ink? It's from VH1.
The tattoo shit? I think so.
Well, they just, I don't know who let a video out, but a video came out of him hitting his dog.
I think I saw that today.
So today VH1 announced hey, we cutting all ties with him. And I'm like, damn. Not to say what he did was right, but it's like, that he was just making minutes, and then boom, it's gone. That's it. Everything, all ties. It's it's over. And it's and if VH1 is cutting ties with him, nobody's gonna want to work with him.
Nobody.
Not even the Zeus Network.
Zeus Network. I just heard. I was fucking looking at. I had been seeing that bitch on my feed. What's her name? Christian Rock or something like that. Blueface's girlfriend, you know Blueface?
Oh my God.
I didn't even know she was. They were like my cousin was watching that shit, and then I was like, "What channel is this? Like, what is that on?" Because I've been seeing her, but I was like, I never seen that channel, and she was like, "It's Baddies South, right? That's the fucking show." I was like, "What?" But she's wild. Chris,
Hey,
I don't even know how to say her name. I feel bad not saying that. She's gonna beat me up, right?
Right?
Straight up, dog.
She gonna end up capping on us or something.
Nah, for real. Cause I should say my name right or don't say
She
it.
did, hey, she, I think she used like her blood or right on the wall or something. Man, that girl's crazy.
Nah, yeah, she's crazy.
But that's another thing that I'm like, it left a bad taste in my mouth. That toxic nonsense, you know what I'm saying? Where people are super toxic, men and women. You know what I'm saying? Because we both can be toxic.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like,
for sure. Oh, man,
everybody has like deeper issues that cause that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
for sure.
People don't ever want to talk about that shit. But I feel like people have that toxic shit that went too far. You know what I'm saying? People think it's okay to act fucked up and then just say sorry.
It's just trendy, yeah. It's a trendy ass thing. Be like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm toxic, blah blah. Like people
like
listen
that's
to the
just
future
me.
shit.
You gotta deal with it now. Fuck
hell
this
no,
shit.
yeah,
Hell
I know what you mean. Yeah, for sure. It's just you can't be believing. What that's what social media. You ever seen what is that shit called? That movie, it's not The Social Network. It's the one about The Social Dilemma. You ever seen that, huh?
I haven't seen that one.
It's on Netflix, but it talks about like how all
Oh yeah, I did.
Right?
It's just a Netflix original, right?
Yeah.
It's like a little documentary type deal. Yeah, I seen it.
and they talk about how all the different social media platforms gather our information and sell it to the companies.
Yeah,
and
for
shit
the
like that.
algorithm and
Yeah,
all that.
exactly,
Man, hey,
exactly.
wow, you know what?
What's up?
When I saw that Netflix special, I was like, dude, I had never paid attention to that.
Yeah.
They track everything you do.
It's that
Everything.
that documentary is fucking like it's scary. It's scary as fuck because it's real. Because they really
know.
are doing all that shit, and it's crazy because it's like, you know, they're in control. They're in charge of what's trendy. So like when we're talking about, you know, toxic or whatever, femininity, toxic masculinity, all of that being trendy because it's just popping up. You know what I'm saying? It's just catchy for people just to see and be like, oh yeah, like, you know, it's a trendy thing. But it's like, how much do they really like control the culture? You know what I'm saying? Like by whatever they just put onto your shit. And after like TikTok, bro, like, you know, they're, well, you know, remember Vine? Yeah, you know Vine.
Yeah, Vine, yeah.
So
Vine, yeah.
like, so Vine was like 6 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then TikTok, I think they could be up to like 3 minutes or some shit like that. But
yeah, 3 minutes, yeah. But
I'm just saying,
I
they're
deleted
shorter.
TikTok. That shit, TikTok is, look, TikTok is informative.
If you know about me, you know I love TikTok, but I'm not fucking with TikTok right now. You know what I'm saying? But so what's up? What
You know
are you talking about?
Like,
Yeah.
hey, TikTok is very informative, right? Like, I used to see like these TikToks are like where they were talking about ancient shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It,
you know,
it just depends what like you get into little communities, like niche communities, little like shit that like only a few people like you'll notice like.
Yeah, I think there's one guy named, I think he was like Midnight God or something like that, but he was talking about like the ancient times, you know, long time ago, pyramids and shit like that. And that's the kind of stuff I used to watch because I'd be like, damn, this is crazy. You know, you would never, in school, they didn't teach me nothing like that, you know, so I always wanted to, you know, dig deep into what's really going on out there. So when I would see those TikToks, I liked it, but the algorithm would show me nothing but girls shaking their ass all the time. Like, damn, man, like, golly, like, I would see something informative and then boom, a girl shaking her ass like, oh man, golly, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel you, yeah, but
you know what I'm saying? I got tired of that now. I'm like, look, isn't it? No homo, you know what I'm saying? And women are beautiful. I love women, all that, you know what I'm saying? I got my woman, you know what I'm saying? But everything's lovely, but
it's just chemistry though, for real. Like they know that's like it's not even up to you, for real. Like we're men, we get attracted by, especially a half naked bitch, like on, you know what I'm saying? Like what shaking ass, like, and bro, especially on TikTok, you know how they be on.
Yeah,
man. So, but that's what I'm talking about.
My sons, I got 2 sons, you know what I'm saying? And 13, the other one's about to be 7. God, he about to be 7, yeah. And all they do is, cause I don't let my kids have social media, not yet, you know. Cause if I let those 2 buffoons have social media right now, I'm gonna be in big trouble, you know. So I'm trying to stop it as much as I can because I can only do it for so long. Eventually they're gonna do it, but they get on YouTube and they watch all these TikTok videos of the most dumbest, craziest shit, and they're recreating all that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy,
so
bro. Yeah, but I mean,
That's the effects of social media.
It really is. But I mean, kids are gonna be kids. They're gonna do what they,
Yeah.
So I'm not telling you how to raise your kids, at all. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
But,
yeah, nah. Shit, them fools right there. The thing is, like, my sons. This is what I be telling my kids. I be like, man, it's at times it sucks to be. I'm gonna tell you why, because I already know what's gonna happen. You can see it. I already seen this movie before.
Yeah.
And I hate it. You know what I'm saying? I hate that
you gotta watch it.
Yeah, that my son is choosing those the stuff that I was choosing. It's kind of hard to see because it's almost like it's in slow motion for me because he's only 13. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's still got life to go.
Hell yeah.
And so. But like I said, I let them know how I am so they can see I have flaws. I don't ever want them to think I'm perfect. That's the last thing I want them to ever think about me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my son, he's gravitating towards the crazy part of society.
Yeah.
And it's scary for me.
It's trendy, bro. It's just trendy as fuck.
Really
It's crazy as fuck,
yeah.
bro. Like, this is one thing. Like, I don't know. This is a thing. I'm like a topic I'm gonna have with my next guest. The dude, the rapper I was telling you about. Fucking his name is Tenny. And he's a real positive rapper. You know what I'm saying? He raps about positive shit. Like, he don't talk about nothing really negative at all. It's all positive with his shit. But it's just crazy. The shit that I see.
Yes.
Yeah. I think my people might be pulling up in a little bit, but
okay,
you're good. Yeah, but
I'm just looking at it.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, but hey, thank God for technology.
Straight up, bro.
Like
that's badass. You can just thank for
right
real.
Here watching the front.
Exactly.
Yeah, we be safe right here. Don't even trip.
Straight up. Yeah. But it's a topic I was gonna talk about with him. Just it's just a balance of good and bad. But like the shit that we see is like as good and righteous and shit, and right, but and also the shit that society sees as like good and righteous, what I'm saying? Like and I can't even lie, like the part of me that's like that's programmed by society, because I can't act like I'm not a product of society, of this society either, you know what I'm saying? Because we all, you know what I'm saying, I definitely am.
Because I you know what I'm saying,
the shit that I think is cool, like, he's a rapper, you know what I'm saying, even like, there's a bunch of people that I fuck with that are like, positive, try to say on positive shit, and
when they're rapping
and shit, but it's like, but the shit that's popping right now, like, bro, it's not nothing fucking positive, bro.
Well, I was seeing a tweet where they were saying about the new Drake album, and they were talking, and the new Beyonce album. I haven't heard that one, but they were comparing the two, and they were saying like it was them like ending a dark era in music, because I love this. Don't get me wrong. I listen to trap music. Here at Casa Lounge, we do trap music with Buena Vida every Friday and Saturday. We cut up in here with trap music.
Yeah.
I love that music, right? But the message, I don't really care for it too much. I just be loving how I feel with the music, right? But people be really listening to what they're saying and doing, like, because all the songs, all they talk about is killing.
Yeah.
And I listen to it, and I don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
you can actually listen to the music and not have to do what they're talking about in the music.
That's what I'm saying. Like one of my favorite artists. Like I'm saying, like for me being programmed as like a program of those people, and I'm with the new shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I like staying up on new shit. Like, you ever heard of this dude K-Flock?
K-Flock. I think maybe I might have seen him like on one of them blogs, like Say Cheese. And all that,
probably, because he's a murderer, bro. He's a murderer, bro. Like he's in jail right now for murdering somebody. Like,
what?
Yeah, he's in jail right now for.
Wow.
And he's like one of the most poppin' rappers right now out of New York. Like,
oh my god. You know what?
Crazy.
That's the one that was the barbershop.
Yes. He came out the barbershop.
Yes, I saw it. That was crazy.
Yeah, like they didn't get him on camera though. It's like
they got each other shooting at each other.
They got the dude falling back,
yeah,
and like falling in front of the barbershop and shit like that. Like, so I think it might be a way that he could be free. I think low-key.
I ain't gonna, man, because there's a lot of the thing with these cases is, and a lot of people need to like understand, because they're really big to say, oh, he snitched, he ratted, but there's a such thing as circumstantial evidence. You know what I'm saying? That shit will get you out of the jam even if it looks like you did, and even if you did it, you know, if to the court it doesn't look like you did, you gonna go.
Yeah.
That's called circumstantial evidence. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
you can get away with some shit behind that.
He's one of them rappers like that they talk about that be like snitching on themselves though. You know what I'm saying? Like to be talking too real in his raps. You feel me? Like saying too much shit in his raps. He be talking about he shot all these people, gang related, all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I fuck with his shit. His shit is so like. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's hard, like, cause it's like drill shit, like that Pop Smoke type shit.
Yeah, so, man. Hey,
it's that type shit. You know what I'm saying?
My brother would put me on Pop Smoke, and at first I was like, you know, I wasn't feeling it at first, and it sucks. It really, honestly, it really sucks that whenever a rapper passes away, people end up liking their music. You know what I'm saying? And Pop Smoke was one of those. Like I ain't really listen to Pop Smoke. Whenever he passed, before he died, you know, I just feel. Anytime that a rapper dies, I'd be like, damn, man, that's some really messed up shit, you know, because like, you know, they made it out of where they were, you know, and then they perish, and it's like,
especially
damn,
rapping, like you gotta have a lot of confidence in yourself to rap. You feel me? Like.
So when I heard he passed, and I'm like, damn, and then how they found him by an address from a bag that he posted, I was like, wow.
That was pretty dumb. Well, honestly, that was dumb.
Grimy,
like,
bro.
That's crazy as fuck. Like, how are you gonna?
That's super grimy. That's why you gotta be careful what you do, man.
Yeah.
But a lot of rappers, and that was a little dark time because you had whatchamacallit. Nah, like Dolph, that one messed me up.
Yeah, I think that messed a lot of people up for sure.
Dolph
I don't think nobody expected that shit to fucking happen.
Yeah,
that's pretty traumatizing.
Man, like, my little brother used to always tell me, my brother, man, he used to be like, man, you gotta listen to Dolph, and I'm like, man, I had just came home, so I was like, I'm still hip to what I was on Jeezy and shit like that, you know. I was still on that, and he was putting me on Dolph, but Dolph came and he changed a lot of people don't give him credit, but he changed a lot of how people were rapping.
Yeah.
You know, especially when it came to Strong and, you know, all that shit. You know,
all that
Peas and all that. That was him.
He's from Memphis, right?
Yeah, he brought that lingo. Nobody was talking about it.
There was only a couple people out of Memphis that were really like popping like that.
I ain't never hear nobody talk about no Peas and I ain't hear none of that ever. When Dolph came, everybody was talking about that. So,
I remember my dog Vinny. Remember I told you I was in the Navy when I was out in Virginia. My dog Vinny, you know, they were always jamming him too. You know, I fuck with him. I definitely fucked with him, but it's just like, you know, I never like fucked with him heavy. You know what I'm saying? All my dogs will fuck with him heavy. Be like, yeah, you know, always putting shit on like whenever we're jamming, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I never fucked with him heavy. But and I'm not even saying like I fuck with him heavy. There's a lot of artists that like. I have.
Who's your favorite artist?
You know, I got my taste.
What's your top 5?
All time?
All time for you. And nobody's judging, you know what I'm saying? I just want to know, so I can know what kind of music we on. You know what I'm saying? Because I listen to everything.
Yeah,
rock, rap, R&B.
I do too. I try to listen to a lot of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I think I got that from my parents for real. You know, I got a wide variety of tastes of sound from my parents for real. Like my parents put me on the alternative shit, and it was badass. You know, so and my dad put me on the all type of rap shit. So, you know, I like everything. So.
Man, I'm looking at they looked at my story and seen that I had got a Casa, you know, from the stash, and they're like, I gotta replace it.
I got you. How much? Bro? I got you.
Nah, don't worry about it, man. I'm telling you to put it on my tab. You know what I'm saying?
I got you on 2 sips. I got 2 shots of it. I swear I only had 2. You can look at the camera. Let me see mine. I definitely got, you know. So I fuck with the old school for sure. You know what I'm saying? I gotta put Doom on my top 5. I never really got asked to top 5, but I gotta put Doom.
You talking about MF Doom?
Yeah, I gotta put.
Hey, you know what's crazy, man, is when I was a kid and I would get the XXL magazine because we didn't have social media, so we could only see whoever was coming up in the magazine. You would have to go to the store and get a magazine. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I ain't old neither. Wow. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
But I can't imagine like having that shit like without the internet, because the internet is so connected. You know what I'm saying? So everybody that you know knows that shit.
Yeah, that's already. What I be telling
at that time, nobody knew it unless you got that shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? So whenever I was seeing, I would get the Source magazine, XXL, Murder Dog, all those were all the
Hip-hop
magazines to have. You know what I'm saying? Back then, so you would get in a XXL, and you would always see MF Doom in the section where they would rate albums, but they never showed him love. Like they never put him inside the magazine.
Yeah,
he was just always there. Oh, he's fire. But I never heard him. You know, he was never commercial. Like he wasn't. He didn't come out on no MTV.
Never really.
Nothing. He never came out like that. But man, that guy had a huge following. And whenever he passed away, I was like, dang, I remember always seeing him in the magazine, but
saying this shit is crazy.
But I never ever they never talked about him. You know what I'm saying?
I remember I had listened to him. You know, my dad put me onto him like early in we're talking rap. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about rapping, because rapping, like, I feel like hip hop is different, or you know, hip hop and rap is kind of different. Like, because pop, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we're, I'm not gonna talk about the Drake shit at all right now. So, you know, because it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a difference between like rapping and like and pop shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Or shit that's more towards that. But yeah, I gotta put Doom on that shit for sure if we're talking about rap. You know what I'm saying? So, because he was probably the best to do it if we're talking about like you know, execution wise. Who else? Then I gotta put Kendrick for sure. Like, Kendrick is crazy. He's definitely my favorite artist of all time. Like, when people say
Money Tree is that's like, I'm gonna be honest, that's like my favorite song by him. Money Tree. I don't know, something about that song just do something.
Yeah, no, that's a good. That's a crazy one for sure.
You know,
but, you know, I like all of his shit. Maybe it might be a little Gemini bias. You feel me? Like, cause I'm a Gemini.
What's the new one he got out right now? I like the way that one is.
That it's called Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Yeah,
it's crazy, bro. I had a podcast right before the album dropped with my cousin.
Yeah,
and I was bigging him up. I was defending him, everything like that. You know, and like, I'm not saying that this album is bad, but it's just a different album. Like, and he even like kind of acknowledged it as well. Like,
it's not what you're usually gonna hear from me. This song.
Well, he basically,
I haven't heard the album. I just heard the new song that he has on the radio.
What is that? Which is that?
I don't even know. It's the one that they have attached to that album. I heard it whenever I was in the middle of nowhere. You know, you don't get no signal.
Yeah.
So we were just hearing the radio, and I was like, that's his new song. Like, it's pretty cool. But the whole album, I haven't heard it, because since Kendrick came out, music changed.
Yeah, for sure.
It changed big time. So like,
big time,
man,
bro.
Music is nowhere near. It's not like that no more.
Nah, not at all. Like,
that's
crazy.
why it's not well received the way he was.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that's basically why. He basically, like, it's crazy. Like, metaphorically like laid down his sword, like, on everything, bro. That's for real. That's what he did. He was basically like, I swear, and I'm over here like bigging him up and everything. But it's like he's basically saying with this album, like, you know, like, it's a lesson. You know, it's a lesson for me too. You know, like the thing that I got from this album. It's crazy that like an album could like even, you know, give me that type of, like, you know, like message type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's like we're talking about humility. You know what I'm saying? Like, he basically is saying like that you know, he's wearing the Jesus Christ. He's wearing the crown of thorns on the album and shit. He's basically saying that at the end of the song, the end of the album, it has this song called Mirror. And at the end of it, he says, I'm sorry I didn't save the world, but I chose myself and my family. In the end, basically, he's saying that, like.
Oh, okay.
So he's basically saying, like
I stepped away from music because I wanted to just enjoy my family.
He like his own peace. You feel me? Like his own. And you know,
I don't blame him
as a person. You feel me? Right? You can't blame him at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, but. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here. It is a lesson though, just being like, hey, like, you know, it's not always about like, you know, like this or that. Like, it's, you know, life is life. Life is beautiful. You feel me?
Sometimes you gotta cut off even your own family. If they holding you back or they drowning, you gotta cut them off.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you, you gotta cut them off, because people be like, oh, that's my family. I can never turn my back on you. But then whenever you're at odds, the other family member don't see it. You know what I'm saying? They just see it their way. So it's like, hold on, I'm giving, but I'm not getting. You feel me? So you gotta. It's okay to not. And I don't mean like cut them off, like never ever talk to them again. Like, cut them off, like, hey, I'm gonna stay over here. You know what I'm saying?
For both of our sake, you know what I'm saying? Because like you're saying, bro, like, you're just picking your own battles, knowing what, like, you know. What are you really gonna do? Or am I really gonna finish? Like, am I gonna change your mind?
Yeah,
like,
my sister told me. She said, brother, I don't want drama. I want distance. That's what she told me, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's deep. You know, that's my baby sister telling me that. I'm like, wow, and that hit me, because it's like, at times, you don't want no drama. You just want distance. You just want to be. I'll be in my own zone. I've been like that for some time now. As a matter of fact, I've been like that right before the pandemic hit, I was already like that. And then when the pandemic hit, obviously I became a recluse. You didn't even know where I was. Nobody knew where I was.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm. That's how, man. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Like that shit. That's how that shit happens, especially during the pandemic, bro. Like, come on, for sure. Like everybody fucking gotta be like that, but man, so we were talking about top fives though, but
top five, that's top five.
But either way, but still, like, so Kendrick's that shit.
Yeah.
You know, like learning about, all this.
Who's the other one?
Let me see. Shit, man. Fuck, I never really been asked that for real. Like that's crazy. Turn the tables, but
it's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Cause every time they ask me, mine is like I don't even know anymore. Like obviously it used to be like Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z. But now it's like Drake is cold-blooded.
Drake is cold-blooded.
I didn't like Drake for a long time. Like, man, you know what I'm saying?
He's cold.
But he's nice. That dude's crazy with that shit.
You can't say he's not.
No,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, how can you hate that guy? His wordplay is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I like as a purist.
And I fuck with Future tough. Like, Future's a vibe. I be jamming him like crazy.
I feel you on everything. Fucking. So let me see. Maybe off the top of the head, bro. Cause I've been on like rap shit like crazy, so I'm gonna say, Kendrick, Doom. I gotta say Tupac too. Yeah, I probably gotta say Tupac.
Shit, man, I jam Pac.
Because like I never
really
really
at least once a day.
I never really like listened to like Biggie like that. I'm sorry, like but I know Biggie is like technically like better. You know what I'm saying? Like
people like how he put the music together. Because Pac was always talking about thug. You know what I'm saying? Pac was a thug.
Exactly. Yeah. But
Biggie was a player.
Biggie's flow was like crazy smooth. You know what I'm saying? Like
super
for sure. Like his shit's crazy for sure. I know he's probably a better technical rapper, but
even
especially like I'm gonna be biased with my pops too. My pops love Tupac. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like
for real?
Fuck yeah, bro. My dad loved Tupac. Like that. Like you know what I'm saying? He grew up. He grew up to that. You know what I'm saying? He grew up around Tupac era. You know what I'm saying? So man, imagine coming out to like all that shit like. Tupac shit like dropping like at that time, man. I always try to think about like try to feel like that, but
when Pac was alive,
even because he was alive, he was in Chicago whenever Michael Jordan was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Like
for real.
Yeah,
I think like in the 90s. You talking about 95, 96?
He might have been in Houston. I don't know, but he was born in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So like.
Your pops?
My pops, yeah. My pops was born in Chicago. They came down here whenever he was like 8. I think he said like.
Oh, so yeah, he's Houstonian. If he came at 8, he's Houstonian.
He
put in work. Houstonian.
You know, then no one pops. You know, texting them. You know,
most definitely. Shout out Tex. Shout out my OG Tex, man.
Yes sir, 100%. My dog. But so he put me on everything. So you know what I'm saying. I gotta say Tupac, and I gotta say Pimp C. Like if I'm gonna say top 5, you know what I'm saying, for sure. Like I gotta say Pimp C. So Doom, Kendrick, Tupac, Pimp C.
It's hard.
That's crazy. I know people are gonna be pissed too. People be like, "How the fuck you not say?" You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
but I gotta say Pimp C too because like I might be biased towards my pops too because you know what I'm saying. Like my pops like steady was jamming UGK and Pimp C like in his Jeep. You know what I'm saying, with the bangs in the back. So
UGK in rotation in my playlist.
Still to this day, like anywhere you go, you're gonna have international players.
Especially on a Sunday,
like,
you go. On a Sunday, feeling lovely in the city. Put some UGK on.
Easy money. You know, so I gotta say Pimp C, bro, because Pimp C really did it crazy. Like, man, fuck, I feel bad for not saying Zero or something for real because Zero is crazy.
I was gonna say like, Zero too. Zero cold.
Zero, like really crazy because whenever you talk about like that. You know, because Drake's not the first to, like, that's what people be talking about, like, he stole that, like, you know, singing and rapping type shit. But, like, bro, honestly,
Ro been doing that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Ro, Pimp C, too. You know what I'm saying? Pimp C was doing that shit, too. Like,
Pimp C,
it's some shit, like, you know what I'm saying, coming up,
Big Mo.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a big thing, you know what I'm saying? So, it's, H-Town shit,
but you're right about Zero. Man, Zero was cold with that. Yeah. To the day, he's still doing that.
Yeah, I haven't...
I heard a little bit of his new album. He was live, but...
I need to listen to it, bro.
But I was on my way up here to the club. It was a Friday.
Yeah.
I put it on when I was coming over here, and but I didn't finish hearing it because I pulled up. You know, Fridays is chaos here. It's mayhem. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Yes, sir. Damn, man. But yeah, so that's 4 already. Shit, but man. See, but if I say 0, like that's gonna be way too Houston biased. You feel me? Like I gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? So
that's why like,
crazy,
it's hard for me to say a top 5. To be honest with you, because there's a lot of people out of Houston I mess with. Like,
exactly.
A lot of people don't really listen to this one named Killer Calion.
Yeah.
I've been listening to Killer Calion since.
That's real. That's real sound shit.
Yeah, when he was Boss Hog, you know, ever since then and. Welcome to the Hood and all that. I was listening to all that. So for me, Killer Calion, if I could have him in my top 5, I would, because he cold-blooded. I know a lot of people don't really listen to Killer Calion, but I've been listening to Killer. I like wordplay.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I've been.
That's why, man, it's crazy. I used to have like, you know, Wale. I used to have Wale in my top 3.
Wale was cold too. He fell off. I thought Wale would have did big things, but he fell off. Yeah.
He did. When he signed with MMG, he fell off, bro. For real, like
it's because he didn't fit in over there like that.
Yeah, he had to act like he was like a tough guy.
They had Omarion over there too.
Yeah, they did for a second. Yeah, that's crazy.
So, you know, that wasn't gonna work over there because you know Ross was doing it with at the same time that he had Wale and
Hill
and what's his name?
Meek Mill.
He had Meek Mill, so you know Meek took all the attention because that's what everybody gravitated toward.
He could
Dream Chaser,
and Wale tried to act like. If you notice, all of his verses after that, we're talking about whips, talking about all this shit, like not like the poetic shit that was like, you know what I'm saying, really got talented for. You know what I'm saying? You know,
I guess because he didn't want to just be like put in one category like where he just only he's a crooner, you know, he just sings, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he used to be in my top 3 for like modern rappers and shit. It used to be him, J. Cole, and Kendrick, top 3, like, you know what I'm saying. But then, you know, I mean, J. Cole's still crazy, you know, too. But I mean, I don't know. I just don't really like. If I got to choose between them two and him and Kendrick, I'm choosing Kendrick because.
What about Kanye? You don't fuck with Kanye?
I do fuck with Kanye. Maybe maybe that might be my 5th one. Nah, I can't. Yeah, because he's not really a rapper. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a difference between like rappers and like hip hop.
Kanye's different, man.
But his raps are real simple. You feel me? But his production and his vision and shit, like that's a different level. That's
he's somewhere else with it.
Yeah, for sure.
That guy right there, like they used to always tell me like,
and he's a Gemini, like.
Oh so, man.
You know, like I just gotta, like I'm saying, I might be Gemini biased, but I don't want to be too Gemini biased.
I'm a Gemini. That man is a Gemini.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
Come on, yeah.
Kanye, man, goddamn Kanye, you know, he's something else. That guy right there, man.
Yeah, but
yeah, I see you. That's why I asked you. Yeah, you fuck with Kanye. I see the Yeezys.
I got the Adidas socks too. I don't even fuck with Nike like that, bro.
Because I trip out with Kanye because Kanye, any chance that he gets, man, he wants to beef with somebody.
Yeah.
Like Adidas, they released a sandal.
I seen that. Yeah. I actually like those sandals.
Yeah,
bro.
sandals are nice.
I was gonna go get them. I swear.
And it was inspired by the pictures that they took. I was reading an article that the silhouette of the sandal is inspired by the rock from the moon, from the pictures that they've taken out there in space.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So Kanye, right away, he was pissed, and he was like, they took my idea from my Yeezy slide. And then Adidas was like, well, actually, we didn't. We were inspired by
this picture.
By the picture, but by him too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be different when you're doing something. So we decided to use they used the terrain from I want to say it was Mars, or one of those, or the moon or something. But that's where they were inspired by. That's why it looks all weird like that. That new sandal.
It's kind of like
and
like,
they sold out. The sandal sold out right away. I ain't gonna lie, I was trying to get a pair.
Yeah, it's crazy. Especially probably after that too. The further that bitches skyrocketed. So man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna say Kanye, but because that's what I'm saying about rap. If we're talking about rap, damn, shit.
Cause like
people are gonna call me out for talking about rap and then putting Pimp C on there. Cause not saying Pimp C is like an amazing. He's not an amazing technical rapper. People are gonna be like, you gotta put Immortal Technique. You gotta put fucking, you know what I'm talking about?
Talib Kweli.
Talib Kweli type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Too,
but I'm not gonna take Pimp off. I already said what I said.
Like cause even Mos Def,
Yeah.
Most Def is cold. Like
Man,
when,
it's a lot of. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of people.
there's a lot of
That get on me
It's
for not
kinda
saying.
hard, you know.
It's
That's why
not
whenever-
hard for 5. Like, man, remember I was telling you I was going on the street. I was talking to people and shit. Like,
yeah, that's hey,
it's kind of
you need to do that. You know, like, you really need to pursue that.
I'm getting on that for sure. You already know. Like, I'm
because
probably
look,
that.
like, a lot of people are doing that already, right? But they're doing it like they're going over there just to roast people. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay to roast people, right? While they're drunk and shit.
Yeah,
but you can go over there and fucking just ask some random other shit. The way, like the one I was seeing. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
that's why I was like,
that's the type of energy I'm on. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, man, hey, you know what, dude? He's not afraid.
Yeah.
He's not afraid of, and that's shit, man. I'm already high. Hey, look, and that's the reason why I was like, okay, I got to give him an opportunity because this guy's for real. Yeah. Right? He's trying to do something. Yeah. And if I don't give him the opportunity, time is gonna pass on him waiting for the opportunity or trying to make the opportunity happen. True, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was like, nah. You know what? I remember when I was doing bad, dog, like really, really bad, and all I needed was a chance, and ain't nobody give me that shit. Yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wanted to give me a chance. They're like, man, this dude right here, he's always crying wolf. He's full of shit. You know, all this extra. I mean, they weren't lying. They were. It was the truth. You know what I'm saying? The truth hurts, right? But the truth helped me. You know what I'm saying? Open my eyes. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't mind the truth. I you know what I'm saying? I accept it. You know, I don't mind at all. Yeah. But that right there is the reason why. Honestly, all this is going on right now with this podcast. Like, I talk like this all the time. You can ask anybody. I have conversations like this. Me and my brother, as a matter of fact, me and my brother, Lil Man, we be having 2-3 hour conversations. Yeah. We're both on the phone ignoring people who are calling us. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? My other brother, KG, be calling and we ignoring that nigga on both phones. You know, shout out KG, I love you, brother. And so we be having deep conversations like this. So. Yeah. Whenever this opportunity presented itself, I'm like, man, I wouldn't mind because I could talk somebody's head off. For sure, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't mind. I like talking about it because there's not a lot of substance in conversations anymore. Yeah, exactly. You know, everything is just like, you know what I'm saying, really 100%. Shallow. You know, exactly, bro. And that's one thing that I wanted to change. You know, that's my, you know, I'm not saying I'm gonna, you know, change anything, but you know, while I'm here, while I'm breathing, you know what I'm saying, I want to put that energy out there to, you know, I want to. You know, try to bring people closer together. You know, people were already divided before the pandemic. Already, I had felt like people were at the most divided we've ever been before the pandemic. And then the pandemic hit. Oh, man. And now it's like, you know, we literally were like, you know, and it literally made you look like at your neighbor like they're your enemy. You know what I'm saying? They could potentially kill you. That's how the news were making it seem. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, any interaction with your neighbor, they could potentially kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and. Bro, and that's, man. You know what I'm saying? So when you get into politics and shit, like, bro, it's just, it's wild, you know what I'm saying? And you know, that's what I've been talking about before on my last podcast with Gabriella, and I was talking about, I get offended whenever politicians, you know, they like you were talking about as well, exploiting the poor or the minorities. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. And that's I feel like that's all that's been happening with this. That's one of the things that turned me off about politics too. When I started to see that they were taking advantage of the you know quote unquote poor folk. You know what I'm saying? The poor
exactly.
People, you know what I'm
saying? And that's what sucks, bro. Because I said on that podcast, and I even feel like an asshole saying it now, but it's like they really make you like. They think you're stupid, you know what I'm saying? They really think you're stupid, that you can't see past this, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't see that I'm just putting on an act to get your vote, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? Like, that's all that they're doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all that
I can't vote.
They're doing.
I lost my right to vote when I went to prison, you know what I'm saying? I can no longer vote. Yeah. So, my lady votes on my behalf, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell you like this. I used to, at first they had me thinking that my vote mattered. Yeah. You know, and votes matter, but whenever this issue happened, I'm like, obviously it doesn't matter, because this guy, he said a lot of good things. Yeah. And in the end, he fell short on everything. Yeah. Like even the people that were like diehard fans of his are against him now. Like, what the hell is going on?
How if you look at even the ratings, the statistics right now of like his approval, they always have that approval rating. Approval rating. You know, of they always have it. It's crazy right now. Like if you look at it at the beginning, at the end, right now, it's crazy how much it's changed. And I don't think it's ever really been like that for our president. He really is like the worst president that we've ever had, and it's just like we're saying. They took advantage of the minority. They put on a show to make it seem like, hey, we're here for you. We're gonna do everything for y'all. This and that. But you know what I'm saying? Do you really want the government interfering with your life like that? You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, we learned that the answer is no. You know what I'm saying? We don't want the government interfering with us like that. You can't stop life like that. You feel me? Like
getting this business right here. It couldn't have came at a better time because I was doing other stuff and I would pay attention to the TV and the politics and all that.
Yeah.
And this takes so much of my time. Like literally, like people were like, we're only open Friday and Saturday. Like, bro, you're there every day. There's always something to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm glad that this took up so much of my time that it honestly just like I lost my interest in that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was making like because the thing with me is like I wasn't using it in a good manner. Like I was letting it make me sour. You know what I'm saying? I was letting politics make me sour, and it's like I really don't want to live like that. You know what I'm saying?
But that's how most people live. Like that's the thing. Most people that have a job that have actual things going on in their life are too busy to worry about politics or anything else going on besides their immediate focus. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's crazy. And that politicians know that. You know what I'm saying? They all know that, and that's why. They'll tug at things that are immediate to you. You're gonna be like, oh, fuck, of course I want. You know what I'm saying? Of course I want somebody to answer why all these shootings are happening. Of course I want something to happen. You know what I'm saying? Of course we do. You know what I'm saying? But it's they don't have to. What we learned is we don't want as much like government interaction with our life. You know what I'm saying?
I try not to use the word hopeless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to what's going on in the world, but at times I feel like that. I feel kind of hopeless. Like there's really nothing I can do. Nah. You know what I'm saying? You can do. Like,
nothing.
Because it's everybody at the top is in charge of what's going on to the people at the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're all at the bottom.
Yeah.
So we ain't got no way to be able to make our way and let them feel us or hear us. Because I see people. When all that craziness was going on, when all the shootings were going on with the cops and all that, I seen people protesting like I've never seen in my life. I was like, wow, this is crazy.
In every city,
and
right?
I thought they would have made
it.
I thought they would have made a change because it was crazy. Like those during the pandemic when all that craziness was going on, it was wild.
That's true, bro. Like
that is some crazy shit. All the damn tear gas it would shoot and the riots, and I was like. Wow, you know what I'm saying? This country's going to hell in a handbasket.
Quick.
When I would see shit like that, and some of it has subsided. All the craziness, but whenever we do get like sprinkled in, it's something horrific, man. Like the shooting that happened in Uvalde. Like, golly, man, what in the world? I seen that happen. I'm like, man, dude, this is bad.
That shit is literally traumatizing, bro. For real. Like, and as a country,
they're gonna knock down that school. They announced it. The mayor announced he's gonna knock down. He said no teacher or no child should ever go back to that school. He said I'm knocking down that school.
That's what.
Never again.
They should. For real.
Yeah, that's traumatizing, bro.
That's fucking. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Seriously, and like we're saying as a country, and even as like, what Kendrick was saying with you heard the Heart Part 5, that one video.
Nah.
He had just put that out, and that's where he was like his face was changing to different people.
Oh snap!
You didn't see that?
No, I didn't see that.
It's pretty cool. Like he always drops before his albums.
Well, he do like a visual.
Yeah. But before his albums, he does it's like a series of songs. It's 5 songs now. Like he adds onto them every year, but it's called The Heart. And like he always had it before, like whenever he dropped the albums, it was called The Heart. So he had one song, like kind of hit like his single before his album drops. He has the single and it's called The Heart. And the old ones, like he's killing it. You should look up the old ones. He's killing shit. Like with the rapping shit, he's killing it. Crazy. And he has it up to part 4, and then part 5 he had just recently dropped it. And it's fucking, it's wild, bro. You know what?
Yeah.
You probably have.
I did see it. That's the one with Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe, Nipsey.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That right there, man. That right there, I tell you, these people right here, they take artistry to another level when they do
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's
was
crazy, and it was refreshing. It was refreshing, you know, it's the kind of music that's, you know, that's been that's had a stranglehold on the culture right now. That was like refreshing, but it was just like a one-hit wonder. Like people heard it,
Yeah.
they made their criticism about it, and then it was gone.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
like, damn, it was deeper, but I guess, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
it's
saying?
gone. But that's what he talks about in that song. The reason I bring it up is because he talks about in that song, like, you know, we were taught to like we were taught to just accept whatever happens, like, you know, whatever unfolds, like that's just how we're traumatized already, like past the point as a society to be like to even try to question anything or even act like we can do anything to it, because it's like this shit just keeps on happening. Like we gotta just deal with it. Like, all right, it happens, deal with it, you know what I'm saying? Like the shooting happens, like, you know, we don't even have time to process that shit before.
Yeah, you had told me that whenever we talked that day,
Yeah.
and you said that, I got to thinking, like, yeah, you really don't even get a chance to process what just happened. Like another tragedy happens.
Exactly. Like, it should just
Like the other tragedy had just happened in Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
That
saying.
one had just happened.
Yeah.
I was barely getting over.
Crazy.
I'm not even getting over. I was trying to figure out how
happened,
somebody
yeah.
could be so evil, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, so crazy like that. That's wild.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. So like, and that's how
me
we
out.
are, like as a society, you feel me? Like to just accept it and like and just roll, and you know, like we but I mean, man, like, you know,
That's it's
I
crazy.
get what you're talking about, you know, being hopeless, you know what I'm saying? Like for sure we all feel that, you know. You know what nihilism is? You heard of nihilism?
No.
You never heard of that? All right, so it's like it's a different type of philosophy. There's all different types of philosophies, right? Like with like Greek philosophers and shit like that. You know, anybody could fucking be a philosopher, you feel me? Whatever the fuck. But
Yeah.
but you know, there's just certain old classic ones that have like, you know, stood throughout, like, you know, throughout time. Like this particular one is called Friedrich Nietzsche. Friedrich Nietzsche, or he's German or some shit, so they say like Nietzsche, some shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, no disrespect.
That was his philosophy.
His philosophy is called nihilism.
Nihilism.
And nihilism, and that means like basically like not having a purpose in life. So there's two different sides of it. It's called active nihilism and passive nihilism, right?
Yeah.
And active nihilism is like let's say passive nihilism is you being like, all right, like there's no meaning in life. So like what is it even like? Really, his philosophy, and to put it a long story short, is saying like, damn, fuck, I literally had it in my fucking head right now. But it's saying that
Like live as you please, or what?
that type of shit like that. I don't know why I'm forgetting this shit right now. It's like,
But that's crazy way to, like, I'm listening to this and I'm like, man, that's a crazy way of putting things.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Because you know, that's not the credo I grew up like. They ain't,
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But people think like that.
Yeah, for
you know
sure.
what I'm saying? There's people who
He's
like they
basically
believe
saying
that.
Yeah, for sure. He's basically saying that there's no meaning to life, like okay, yeah, this is what it is. That like a human's lifetime is so short.
Casamigo getting you.
Yes, sir. Got me a little. Man.
Yeah, man.
Man, you know?
We love Casamigo here at Casa Lounge. We love Casa.
Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Basically, he's saying that a human's life is so short that to think that we could actually make any type of change in our reality or anything like that is impossible, you know, or is you know,
Wow.
unthinkable, is irrational.
Well, that's a way of thinking, because there's people that you tell them like, hey, bro, you could change it. Like, nah, this gonna be me forever.
Yeah.
So nihilism does exist.
For sure,
It's-
100%,
that philosophy-
without even knowing about
Yeah, they don't
nihilism.
even
you
know
what
what
I'm
it is.
saying?
But
Exactly.
yeah, okay,
You
yeah.
feel me? Yeah, exactly. So
I'm
like,
a firm believer in this stuff exists that we know nothing about. Like,
Yeah.
that's a philosophy. If you tell a person that he has, he suffers from nihilism, he's gonna tell you, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Because he
Well,
don't know
it's
what
the
the
same-
hell it is.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna think that you think that he's crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling you
It's
about
the-
earlier.
yeah.
People have their way of thinking. you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
100%. And it's the
Yeah.
same type of shit as like, what is the other shit? Narcissism.
Oh man.
You know, type shit like that. Like it's the same type of shit like that, you know. But I mean, we're raised in a narcissistic society.
Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause you know, like I said, I like to be an open book. You know, I've been narcissistic myself. You know what I'm saying? I've dealt with it head on, and you know what I'm saying. That's an ugly way to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, because everything is your way or the highway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
there's
And-
no like situation or what is it? Yeah, the situational awareness. You know what I'm saying? Like you're saying, or
That's
emotional
one of the
awareness.
like when people
None at
talk
all.
about demons, they be fighting demons, and that's one of the demons I used to fight because it was kind of hard to break the habit.
Yeah.
You know, you grow up seeing narcissism. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You
and
grow
not-
up
and type
you,
shit like that, and not even knowing what it is.
you don't even know what it is.
You
So when
just
you
see
get
it.
older, you're like, damn, bro. And somebody's calling you out on it and shit. You're like, damn, I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah.
there ain't no way that could be me. You know
Like
what I'm
how
saying?
you don't
Yeah.
even know what that is, like, bro, like what that doesn't exist to you. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? It really
yeah.
doesn't, for real. Like, so, like, you
I'm
know,
not like that. You know, there's no way I'm like that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly. But bro, like, you know, but I mean, like, we do grow up in we've grown up in a narcissistic society, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, man,
whenever you're forced to like think about, you know, it's me or, you know,
Yeah.
nobody else, or you're, you know, isolated, thinking
That's-
you only see yourself. You know what I'm
That
saying?
has to be
that's
like
bad.
one of the hardest like that has to be the hardest part of like growing up for me, like finally like snapping and you know, like maturing mentally.
Yeah.
Like that was like one of the hardest pills to swallow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it's
And
the
but it
toughest
hits
one.
everybody at a certain
Yeah,
point
yeah,
in life.
you know, like
feel me?
like
Yeah.
like I always tell my mom, when I talk to my mom, I always tell her, like, I went through a lot of nonsense, but I don't blame them for any of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the toughest pill I had to swallow was when I was sitting in my cell, you know, and I had to realize that ain't nobody put me there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't my mom, my pops, ain't nobody put me there but myself.
Yeah.
That was the first 2 years of prison were like mental torture. You know what I'm saying? Because you're learning that
That's a
I
complete-
should have just listened. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Fuck,
So
yeah.
you're just fucking wallowing in the ashes of all the bridges you burn. You know, you gotta just suffer mentally. That's why people go to prison. Prison is a waste of time, number one, because you're just dry sitting there getting your years are going by or whatever. But if you're around the right people, you gain some knowledge on the way, and you know you come out different. So, but before you're able to come out and be different, you have to go through the process of suffering mentally. You have to hit everything head on that you did to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And once you
you're forced to,
accept that,
yeah.
you can do your time. You know what I'm saying? You can accept your fate finally.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Like, they sentence you, and then you still have to wait 2 years for your mind to finally grasp what's going on.
Yeah.
And then you can do your time. That's how it was for me. I didn't start
Yeah.
doing time till I was like almost in my, it was like 2 years in, 2.5 years in. I was like, okay, well, this is life. You know, I'm not going home right now, so, you know, it is what it is. And then that's whenever I started to like analyze where I was wrong in a lot of aspects of my life and stuff like that. And then I started maturing, and then I went to a drug program in there, right? It was called RDAP, and everybody hated that program. Everybody's like, no, you got to go in there, you got to be a snitch, because you got to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
And that's the main concept behind it's a
Wow.
cognitive
Yeah,
program,
yeah.
and you got to hold yourself accountable. And people consider it snitching. They're like, oh man, hell no, he's telling on me.